Hello and welcome to Channel Sports this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Taya Salam. This is what the show looks like. Uchenna Kanu scores twice to give the S.Falcons of Nigeria the first leg advantage over the Black Queens of Ghana in the Alcon qualifier played yesterday at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena at Onikon. Also on the program, still talking football, it was a scoring debut for Samuel Chukwueze in the Uefa Champions League. He came off the bench to score for Villarreal in their victory over the Young Boys of Switzerland. Also on sports this morning, Cristiano Ronaldo completes another comeback for Manchester United as they defeated the opponents in the UEFA Champions League match played last night at Old Trafford. Atalanta were on the receiving end of that defeat of that incredible performance or incredible comeback from Cristiano Ronaldo and Manchester United. All right, that's it. There's a lot to still come on the show later on, so try and stick with us for all of the updates across the amazing world of sports. But before we dive into all of that, let me introduce my guest to you, Jide Olanira, once again, keeping his shirts on the show. Good morning, Jide.
Good morning, Tyler. It's a pleasure to be here.
I know, it's a Thursday, not a Friday, but it's all good.
It happens like that. We just have to.
Incredible games played yesterday in the UEFA Champions League.
Yes, no doubt.
Exciting games.
Exciting games, of course. The goals came pouring.
Yeah.
Usual suspects did disappoint when you look at the likes of Bayern, Manchester United, Villarreal also.
Villarreal,
Manchester United, they needed it for confidence.
They had to,
they had to get the job done.
Yeah. Great character
Chelsea
to come back.
Also,
Chelsea, of course, got
like
the
I
job.
said, usual suspects. Even Juve also got an away victory. That shows that they know what is at stake now.
Yeah.
They might have left it late, but they want to get into the next round.
Yeah, the old lady, they're starting to wake up in the Serie A, but of course in the UEFA Champions League, they've been perfect and they're still perfect. Before we go into all of the details concerning the UEFA Champions League, let's give you updates coming from the NBA. The 75th season is well and truly underway. Incredible matches, games played last night and early this morning. Some fantastic results already after just game day one. Starting with the Pacers against the Hornets, just a 1 point loss for Indiana in that game, 122 to 123. That's how it ended in favor of Charlotte. Elsewhere, there was the Chicago Bulls with a 94 to 88 victory over the Detroit Pistons. The Celtics, unfortunately for our own Emil Doka, it was a losing start for him, 134 to 138 against the New York Knicks. A double overtime in that game. Wild game between the Celtics and the Knicks. We've got details of that match later on the show. The Wizards defeated the Toronto Raptors 98 to 83. The Cavs were on the receiving end of a loss. This time was against the Memphis Grizzlies, 132 to 121. Houston starting the season with a loss against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 124 to 106. Big performance coming from Karl Anthony Towns. We'll get to him shortly. The 76ers were able to put away all of the drama surrounding the future of Ben Simmons, and they defeated the New Orleans Pelicans 117 to 97. Elsewhere, there were also wins for the 76ers, like I said, were simply superb against the Pelicans in that matchup as well. And we're going to focus quickly on our own guy. Before then, let's just give you the other results. Before we go to Ime Udoka, there were wins for the Spurs, for the Utah Jazz, of course, parading Mia Oni as well as Udoka Azubuike. Good one for Utah. There were also wins for the Denver Nuggets and the Sacramento Kings parading Chimezie Metu. All right, let's focus on the Celtics taking on the Knicks now. Crazy game of basketball. Jide, very first game of the season for these two sides. They're going into double overtime.
Yeah. Ime started, should I say this is the baptism of fire?
This is it.
And losing his first game, I wouldn't really read so much to it because, this is just the beginning.
Yes,
I want to believe that they will come back. They will definitely get into the groove.
Eventually, they
Eventually, they will, because that's just what I would say. Because I just feel that it's early day. It's just early in the day, so that it's just Women will definitely bounce back. I want to believe we're rooting for him. Of course, when he was announced, you know how joyous we were about the fact that he was able to keep them.
First African head coach in the NBA and all of that. I agree. It's still early doors, just one game into the season. I don't think it's a crisis in any shape or form. It's obviously very, very painful, the manner in which they lost the game, because they had the chances to go ahead and sneak that victory, but it wasn't meant to be. The New York Knicks ensuring they got all 3 points. Not 3 points, getting all the victory with some big performances coming from their players, including the likes of Julius Randle. Let's take the listen now. Let's get the post-match or post-game thoughts of Emil Doka after his losing debut as head coach of the Boston Celtics.
We had some pretty big leads twice in the game, got ourselves back in it, and then obviously late to make that comeback. Like, let's go finish it now. We had the momentum. Love the looks that we had. Obviously missed some easy ones, and the layups and dunks that we're going to knock those down. But even the 3-point shots, we were wide open on a lot of those. Just wanted to really move the ball and get the open looks. We knew they were a heavy shift team. So at that point, it was just like, let's finish the deal. We got ourselves back in it and gave up a few leads. So, really the second quarter when we were up 10 or 11, that's what got them back in the game. We tried to make a few home run passes, thread the needle, especially in transition. We were really doing well, 13-2 at halftime as far as fast break points. So we knew if we got stops, we can get out and run. But I felt like we tried to make the home run pass and let them back in the game in the second quarter. Late in the game, I think fatigue took place a little bit as far as some of the decision making and the shots that we missed. But an area we definitely have to clean up. We forced 19, but gave up 18 ourselves.
As Emil Doka, after the Boston Celtics lost in double overtime against the New York Knicks. And I believe with the kind of players that they have in that team, it's only a matter of time before they start winning. Jaylen Brown was simply superb in that game for the Boston Celtics. Wasn't enough, though, and they ended up on the losing side. Let's take a look at the top performers on the night. We've got a guest that's going to help us review some of these games as well too shortly. But before we go to him, let's tell you about all of the players that stood out, starting with Julius Randle. Like I said, for the New York Knicks, he was spectacular on the night, finishing with 35 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. Also making our top performer, the very first one for the season, is LaMelo Ball of the Charlotte Hornets. 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists for the victory for the Charlotte Hornets. Unfortunately for C.J. McCollum, he ended up on the losing side, but still finished with 34 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Next up is Harrison Barnes. What a fantastic performance coming from the former Golden State Warriors forward. Finished with 36 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists for the Kings in their victory. Ja Morant, the young star, playing like a veteran, 37 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists for the Memphis Grizzlies. Jaylen Brown, unfortunately, like I said, 46 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, double overtime, but the Celtics fell to the Knicks. Zach LaVine, fantastic performance for him for the Chicago Bulls in their own victory as well, to finish with 34, 7, and 4. There you go. So those are our top performers. I can say without a doubt that this is definitely the longest list that we've had when it comes to top performers in the NBA. Femi Adefeso is not ready to join us. Femi, of course, is excited as a lot of us that the NBA is back, the 75th season, and judging by what we've seen in the first few games alone, I think we're in for a treat. Femi, good morning. It's great to have you on the show.
Good morning, Tayo. It's a delight to be here with you, even though I'm not in the studio, but it's always exciting to join you guys on the show.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, it's virtual studio, it's all good.
Yeah, it's the 75th anniversary of the NBA, so this year has a little bit of an extra spice to it, right. Which is quite commemorative, and it started out with a bang. The Toronto Raptors also are playing back in Toronto for the first time in 2 years. Remember, they first played in the bubble in Tampa, Florida, and then in Orlando, Florida, and then they had to play due to the COVID-19 travel restrictions in Canada, they played in Tampa as well. So this is also a good home for them. And yeah, they didn't get the win. They started a little bit slow, but my eyes were Precious Achiuwa, who managed 18 minutes in that game. I think he ended up with about 6 points, 7 rebounds in the game, which isn't bad. I mean, the fact that he's playing the new team. And the biggest game of the night was the Celtics against the New York Knicks. So much interest there because of course, Ime Udoka's debut as a head coach in the NBA. Not too bad performance. You look at the fact that I went to double overtime. I think at the end of it was the case of fatigue, determining who won because both teams were giving us, back-to-back highlights throughout. No one wanted to lose and not deserve to lose, quite honestly. There. So it's been a very interesting opening. I think we have about 16 games tonight, and I heard you about, players top performance like it's the longest you've ever had because there's so many games. So 2 games on opening night. The Golden State Warriors Lakers game and the Milwaukee Bucks Brooklyn Nets game, yesterday. So today are the rest of the teams playing, and subsequently, I'm sure the number of games will be reduced, not as many as we had tonight.
All right, so let's go back to yesterday. It's only right we go to opening night. We saw the Bucks receive the championship rings and the banner went up. Of course, the first championship in God knows how long, in forever, in decades. And they were able to still keep their concentration despite the celebrations on the night to defeat, not only defeat very well the Brooklyn Nets in that game.
Yeah, and I'm more particularly excited about Giannis Antetokounmpo. If there's something he's added to this game, is that efficiency, which is the jump shots. He was a bit more comfortable shooting. So it goes to show that during the offseason, he didn't go to sleep, he kept working. And I like the fact that also this team doesn't have that big tag of going to defend their title on their back. So they will be more like dark horses and playing the way they should play. Efficient, where yesterday against a Brooklyn Nets that is a good team, even though they're still trying to find themselves. And the formation of that score looks good. I think Jordan Nwora will have to break out here as well. That guy can score. And he's shown, last year in the finals, in the playoffs, he didn't have too much time because it was his rookie year. But his second year, I'm sure he will give him more minutes on the floor. And he's showing he's efficient. I think he will be really one of those players who talk a lot about this year, most certainly. And the Bucks will go as far as possible too. I just like the fact that nobody's putting that target on them, like Brooklyn Nets or that Denver 76ers or even the Toronto Raptors all the way.
Indeed, I agree. And since you mentioned the Bucks might just be flying under the radar, and you never know, they may fly under the radar until they two-peat and retain their NBA championship. Fingers crossed about that. And about Jordan Nwora, I'll come back to you now, Femi, quickly. Jordan Nwora, the Tigers forward, great shooter, played 26 minutes on opening night, finished with 15 points. And like Femi has said, it looks like he might just have a breakout year, and that would be awesome to have a player playing for a team like that and doing so well.
Of course, you'd agree with me that it was fantastic during the preseason.
Yes, it was. It's pretty much carried the form.
Exactly. So I wasn't expecting anything less because last season I wasn't too comfortable with the playing time that he had. But with the way he displayed it during the preseason, I knew that it was definitely going to be part of those that the manager will rotation and where the manager will count on. So awesome. I'm not really surprised by his performance in the first game.
Fantastic. Indeed, is a great shooter, and shooters are always in demand in the NBA. So great start for Jordan Nwora. Hopefully he can keep going for the rest of the season. Femi, there's no way we're going to talk about the NBA and not talk about the Lakers and their issues. I know it's just one game, but if you go back, a couple of weeks, it's a fact that the Lakers have lost 7 games in a row, as a matter of fact. 6-0 in preseason. Okay, Femi is not with us again. Network issues. We'll try and reconnect with Femi shortly. I was talking about the Lakers, and you were there as well too when the preseason started and they lost games, and people were like, "Nah, it's just one game. It's just 2 games. It's just 3." 4, 5, 6, they lost all 6. Then opening night comes against the Golden State Warriors with all the star players, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony, Rajon Rondo, Dwight Howard. You can go on and on. They ended up losing that one as well. So it was 7-0 or 0-7 for the Lakers. And they're still saying, it's no cause for concern.
Right?
I'll come to you. Femi is back, and I know he has something to say about the Lakers and all that, message. There's no cause for concern. Femi, really?
Well, it's still early days, but there is cause for concern, in my opinion. And it just gives me, a reminiscence of, remember the Cleveland Cavaliers situation, and the year fills me at the moment. Where they got into a way, Derrick Rose, Isaiah Thomas into the mix, and they just couldn't get that chemistry running together. Because there were so many more dominant players, and that work out. I know these guys are a little bit of veterans, and it will take time for them to adjust. How quickly they get there will determine the amount of pressure that will come, on the team to perform, and that will determine whether they will succeed, or not. So we look to see how the chemistry will work out in the Lakers. I think with the veteran leadership they have, it might work out, rather than not work out. But the time it will take for it to work out, we hope that the fans and the management will be patient enough not to start, trading players and just trying to find in guys that will to the system and just trying to force it to work all together. I think one thing people are also sleeping on the Eastern Conference, the Chicago Bulls. They're a very decent side. They can move the ball very well. They are, very efficient team. The DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, those guys really played on the night in that game against, I think they played Detroit Pistons. And I see them as a very good sport. Also, the Charlotte Hornets, the younger boy, LaMelo Ball, for me, is a once-in-a-generation type talent. The guy is showing that he can control games. I think he almost had a triple-double. I'm not particularly sure of it. That's just how efficient he is with the ball, and how he coordinates offenses as well. So the Charlotte Hornets, the Chicago Bulls, maybe underdog, but I think there'll be teams that will give a lot of teams trouble this season, and perhaps they can at least sneak into that playing position and vying for a playoff place.
Indeed. Lastly, on the NBA, the Philadelphia 76ers, they were able to put behind all of the drama surrounding the future of Ben Simmons, and they got a very, very good victory on opening night for them.
Yeah, well, have they put all the way the drama? I'm not sure.
Just for that game, it didn't affect the results, the outcome.
Yes. They got him out for one game. I think they should find a long-term solution to Ben Simmons. He's clearly not mentally in it. I think it will be a huge distraction for the team. He should be out, and they should get their process really on, because I think this team deserves a bit more commitment, because they are at the brink. Joel Embiid is playing the best MVP caliber kind of basketball you would expect. Tobias Harris is giving good support. So you look at it and you say, and this team deserves more in terms of commitment and a lot more push. I'm also excited for our man, Charles Bassey. He had just 2 minutes on the night. He was able to get 2 points, 2 rebounds, even though it would be tough for him to play because Joel Embiid is the starter, then there's Andrew Drummond, who will be the second on the center. But I'm sure Charles will have his minutes. Hopefully, he'll be able to maybe not have so much impact, maybe have a Jordan Nwora kind of first year, and just a shout to be more prominent on Philadelphia 76ers. But Sixers definitely are one of the top teams to look out for in the Eastern Conference to go all the way. Or possibly and hopefully they do away with Ben Simmons' drama once and for all, and just like Brooklyn Nets are trying to do with Kyrie Irving, just pushing him away and not allowing that distraction.
Okay, Femi, really appreciate your time. Appreciate your analysis as always when it concerns the NBA. Many thanks. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for having me, Tayo. was a pleasure.
Cheers. Cheers. All right, so that's it for our NBA coverage for today. We need to go on a break now. When we come back, we'll be telling you about the UEFA Champions League. Samuel Chukwueze making a scoring debut in that competition for Villarreal. Join us again. Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Before we tell you about the UEFA Champions League, let's give you updates concerning the Handball Premier League right here in Nigeria. It's going to kick off later today, and we have the fixtures for you. Of course, the venue is in Abuja. Let's give you the fixtures for match day 1. That's in the men's league. We have Lagos Seasiders taking on the Defenders. There's also Conference Stars versus Kano Pillars, Cater Stars versus COAS Shooters. Safety Shooters will play against the Plateau Vipers, while the Niger United will be tackling the Police Machine. Rima Strikers versus Toji Marine. While in the women's segment, it's Safety Babes versus Cater Queens, Bayelsa Queens versus Imo Grasshoppers, Defender Babes versus Plateau Peacocks, Edo Dynamos will take on Confluence Queens, and last but not the least is the Adorable Angels versus the Seasider Babes. So those are match day 1 fixtures for you in the Handball Premier League, where, of course, we're going to be giving you all of the updates concerning this competition on our subsequent programs. That's it for handball. Let's get on with the show. And this time around, let's talk about the Biennial World Cup plans, the plans by FIFA, especially what's his name now? It beats me. Arsene Wenger, yeah, that's his name. Yeah, that's the man, that's the brain behind that proposal, right? I know you...
Is it the brain behind the proposal?
Or he's just pushed to the front.
The Man Friday of the FIFA president.
You think so,
yeah,
right?
he is the Man Friday of the FIFA president,
okay.
Because I remember that some years, if it were to be some years back,
yeah,
he wouldn't have supported.
You don't think so, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
When he was the manager in our
I mean, okay, to be fair to Wenger, right? Now works with FIFA, you know, he holds a very strategic position with FIFA now in terms of football development. So it's safe to say he's just doing his job and seeing how, you know, football can get better. Anyways, Gianni Infantino has been talking about how important it is for everybody, all the stakeholders, to agree on this 2-year World Cup proposals. He's also been speaking about the impacts on women's football as well as the Olympics. Let's take a listen to the president, Gianni Infantino.
You know, if this is the end point, then obviously there will be no consensus. But if this is a starting point, then we have to see how we can approach the different opinions and the different parties. And to do that, we need to do, as FIFA as well, our part of the job. We need to finalize our feasibility study. We need to look at the sporting merits, at the economic merits, and then we can have a reasoned discussion rather than an emotional discussion about World Cups every 2 years, other types of competitions, what kind of events we can create to make football better and so that everyone can benefit. So I don't know what the ultimate result will be. We have been asked by the Congress to make a study on a feasibility study on World Cups every 2 years and some other matters. That's what we are doing. And at the same time, we englobe and include the feedback of everyone and we try to come up with something good. And I hope we can present really a joint position on the 20th of December, and we will work hard, all of us together, to reach this position. Today, the young generation has many other things to do, so I believe that we should be able to attract positivity for anything that makes football better, because it makes sports better. And we should all care about sports. We shouldn't care about our own little territory. We have to care about the whole picture. The IOC is definitely doing that, and I can assure you that we are doing that as well.
As Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, giving us updates concerning the plans to start holding the World Cup every 2 years. Jide in the house definitely doesn't seem to agree with those proposals. And
really, I don't know. I'm yet to be convinced that there's need for every 2-year World Cup. Really, that's just me. I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And
they're still looking for consensus anyway.
Exactly.
Let them keep looking for the consensus.
Because it's going to be so hard. We've seen so many oppositions
I'm aware about
already.
3 confederations are very critical, important confederations don't support it.
Yeah,
Uefa, the Asian Confederation, as in the CONMEBOL. So tell me where
the consensus is going to come from. Okay, maybe perhaps after the feasibility study is done, because it's still a long process. And so why is there so much opposition?
Like they want to start like yesterday.
No, but that's not the case. They've never said that. So I don't understand why there's so much opposition to this thing are still at its infancy stage. They're still working. They're still trying to see how this is going to work. So why is there's so much opposition?
Yeah, like you said, opposition. Because the only continent that appears to have swallowed things hook, line, and sinker is the African continent. And because they feel that everything is about money. It is. I know football actually is big because it is lucrative, but beyond that,
beyond that,
we should look at the welfare of those players. These are the critical stakeholders.
So these are the things I'm taking a look at in the feasibility studies. Like I said, it's still a very long process. It hasn't been approved, and I just don't get why everyone seems to be up in arms against it.
Yes, they have to quickly because they know that this man, he never hid. Infantino never hid his plans right from when he became the president about, all the brainwave. He had so many things he wanted to do about football.
Yeah.
Right from, so I feel that, well, I wish him all the best, but I know that it's a tall dream.
Yeah. It looks that way, but fingers crossed, impossible is nothing, like we always say in sports. Let's get on with the show now and talk about the Falcons of Nigeria. Took on the Black Queens of Ghana yesterday in the ALCON qualifier right here in Lagos. And the game ended 2-0 in favor of Nigeria. Of course, Uchenna Kanu with 2 goals in the first half to secure that first leg advantage for Nigeria. And 2-0 looks like a decent scoreline. And, but it can be tricky as well, so it's not the most convincing. It can be easily overturned in Accra.
That result is flattering.
Okay.
Yeah.
How so?
It's exactly when you go by the result and you look at the way the girls played on that day. Okay. Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
You will know that there's still a whole lot of work to be done. Coming from the back of what happened at the Aisha Buhari Cup. At least they played 2 games. You would have expected to see some improvement. But after, I noticed that we were waiting, of course, on the back foot all through, sort of. Apart from those 2 goals, those we especially because I remember that I was here complaining about the fact that what is wrong with the and it's looking like it's a problem with the Super Falcons and the Super Eagles. Now, what is wrong? We have the best of midfielders in this game, both women and men. But most times the midfield is always the problem.
Problematic.
It's like I don't know. I've seen with what the girls played yesterday. Like I said, the result is flattering,
really.
And they could have gotten a goal. That's talking about the
Ghana.
Black Queens. They could have gotten a goal. They were very unlucky. If they had gotten 1 single goal, you know what that means? I mean, an away goal advantage for them going to... They look like a team that could hurt the Super Falcons. So it's not yet to huru. We just need, of course, we've won by 2-0 here. I think we need to maybe consolidate. We really need to consolidate there, and we don't need a repeat of what we did at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena. We need them to come out impressive in the next, in the second leg.
Indeed, I don't think any of the players and the coaches, I think this job is done already. Anyways, let's get post-match thoughts of the coach and some of the players reacting to that victory over the Black Queens of Ghana.
A clean sheet, too, was very important for us to go into the second leg. You know, the first half, I thought we came out with a good attacking mentality. The second half, we played a little bit more off the counter. It wasn't by design. I think it was a little bit more they were chasing the game, and we had some tired legs at the end. But the players fought really hard. I thought Shamaka came up with a big-time save to keep a clean sheet there, which was very important for us as well. But extremely proud of taking care of this. Now, we all understand this is just half of the job. Well, I think the difference is we had different players. South Africa, we didn't have O'Holly, we didn't have Ajabade, we didn't have Tony Payne, and, you know, those players are key players for us, and they make a huge difference. But I thought defensively, Anome and Osi, and Glory and Opiemi, those players did a great job for us in the back with our goalkeeping as well. I think the staff will get back tonight and we'll have some conversations and watch the video of how we want to approach the second leg. You know, I think, as we all know, when you do a home and away, it's important to keep a clean sheet when you can at home, but it's also important on the second leg to score goals, right? The away goals really count for you. So we'll have to figure out a balance of making sure that we're attacking, but that we're also protecting the 2-goal lead that we have.
I'm very excited that we won, but it's not really the result we wanted, but we won. So we're going to Ghana to do all our best to make sure we get to the next round. And I believe with the girls, with the spirit of the girls, we are going to go to Ghana to get our gear. So you believe in us, and we'll definitely make Nigeria proud and make him proud, and make ourselves proud as well.
Onome Ebi, a veteran S.Falcons defender, reacting to that victory over the Black Queens of Ghana. The second leg is going to be on Sunday, and that's where Nigeria will hope to seal qualification for the AFCON. And because if you don't qualify for the AFCON, then you're not going to the World Cup.
That means you are not playing anything until 2024. 2024, yeah. That's what it means, football, if you don't qualify for the AFCON, because it is when you get to the AFCON that you can pick a ticket to the World Cup.
Okay.
So if you don't qualify for one, that means there is nothing to really play for until 2024. You know what that means? About 3 years of
that would be a disaster. That would be a disaster. Hopefully, the girls can go to Accra on Sunday and secure qualification or secure advancement into the AFCON. Let's move on with the show now. The UEFA Champions League is going to get us talking now. Match day 3 games were concluded yesterday. We have some very incredible results for you, starting with, not starting with, we'll get to that one later, but let's give you the results of the games that were played last night. Everyone is talking about Cristiano Ronaldo and that incredible comeback by Manchester United against Atalanta. But before then, in Group E, it was Barcelona winning the first game of this year's competition with a 1-0 win over Dynamo Kiev. Gerard Piqué with the only goal in that game. Bayern expectedly went to Benfica and they won 4-0, but it wasn't as easy as the scoreline suggests because Bayern scored pretty much all of the goals late in the game in a 15-minute span. Elsewhere in Group F, Manchester United 3-2 over Atalanta. United players were booed at half-time after thrilling by 2-0. But however, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer told them in the dressing room, we saw the effects in the second half, and they came back to win by 3-0. We'll come back to that game shortly. Villarreal 4-1 over Young Boys. Wow. Samuel Chukwueze making a scoring debut in the UEFA Champions League. It's good to see the young guy playing football again after so many years, or not years, months of being frustrated with injuries. In Group G, FC Salzburg defeated Wolfsburg by 3-1. Karim Adeyemi, Noel Kafor, those names of course sound Nigerian. The Nigerians, yeah, they scored for Salzburg in that 3-1 victory over Wolfsburg. Lille and Sevilla played a goalless draw. Yet another home draw for Lille. They don't know how to win at home at all. Last but not the least is in Group H, where Chelsea defeated Malmo by 4-0. But unfortunately, that particular game, or that victory, has come at a serious cost because Romelu Lukaku got injured in that game. Then Timo Werner followed suit as well. So we're hearing both players are out for a long, long time. Zenit St. Petersburg lost at home against Juventus. 1-0, late goal for the old lady to maintain their perfect run in the UEFA Champions League. Jide, over to you. Let's talk about what happened at Old Trafford. Yeah. What a game.
What a game.
What a night.
What a night. I think it's not about... the problem with Manchester United is not about maybe scoring goals. It's about game management for them. It has always been the problem. How do they manage some of those games to make sure that it doesn't slip away? And I was really happy for them, because when you look at trying to compare what happened in the league over the weekend to what happened, if not for the comeback, it would have been another disastrous result for them that would have mounted more pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, good one. There's still so much. I don't know.
Is this result papering over cracks? I mean, 2-0 down. Is that what it is?
Exactly. What you understand what because I'm still uncomfortable with their inconsistency.
Very inconsistent.
When you expect them to win, everything that I feel that the manager needs has been given, has been provided.
Absolutely.
At times I worry
excuses.
because exactly in terms of motivation for the players, they actually pay out of this world in terms of salaries to all some of these young stars that they have. So you ask yourself, what else?
£1 billion squad.
I don't know what. This is a team that has got pedigree, it's got history, it's got and at this time. I feel that there's so much expected. And I remember before the game, before the season started, everybody tipped them that this is the season, especially when they got...
Who's everybody? Come on.
I'll give it to them in terms of, because you look at, in terms of youthfulness and personnel, exactly, youthfulness and experience, especially when they got Ronaldo back.
Not only Ronaldo, they got Rafael Varane, World Cup winner. They got Jadon Sancho, one of the most exciting young stars in the world, football. Yeah, so there's a lot of expectations.
What's his name again? Though he didn't start, he was injured at the beginning of the season. The Uruguayan.
Yeah, Cavani. There are so many options.
So then the question will be, what is actually wrong?
Indeed.
Because I don't want us to go into tactics and about, but the manager has got to get his job done. He needs to fix all those things.
Indeed, talking about what is wrong with Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been trying to explain his position. There you go, Cristiano Ronaldo, the all-time top scorer in the UEFA Champions League, once again delivering the goods for Manchester United. We need to go on a break now. When we'll come back, we'll be talking about the other games that were played in the UEFA Champions League last night. Join us again. Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Let's tell you about Chelsea's victory over Malmo. Expectedly, they won that game. Christensen scoring his first goal for Chelsea. He happens to be in the UEFA Champions League. Fantastic goal indeed. Jorginho as well scored a pair of penalties in that victory for Chelsea. But unfortunately, Romelu Lukaku got injured in that game. And we're now hearing that it's going to be out for a long time. That's not good news.
That's not good. It's not a good news for Chelsea, really. Losing Timo Werner as well as Lukaku.
Wow.
And we actually, they've not come out to tell us for how many weeks or maybe months that it's going to take them. But we know at this time they need a top man.
Yeah.
Right
Can
now.
you imagine Chelsea trying to win the league without Lukaku and Timo Werner? Who's going top strike?
That's what I'm.
That's a major blow.
At this time, that they need to amass a lot of points to be sure of getting.
We're getting close to December now. Very, very hectic schedule, and we're playing a lot of tough games. Hopefully, that's the best they can do right now. So hope that those two guys are not out for a long time. Because if that's the case, then Chelsea needs to start worrying about their title aspirations. All right, let's do Chelsea and talk about Barcelona. Barcelona finally got a win against the Dynamo Kiev. Of course,
I remember saying that I don't know why it was. It might be a joke, but maybe I cracked a joke somewhere saying that I don't know why Barcelona actually registered for the UEFA Champions League this season. If they were going to be very classless or they were going to be very horrendous in terms of their their play. But it's good to see them come back. And the good thing is that they actually put themselves in this situation, you know, with what happened to them and how there are a lot of expectation, but can they really deliver? With this this team, I don't think that they will.
No one is talking about Barcelona winning the competition.
Just even in terms of the result, people, you know, there's this feeling that their fans have about them. And they are not even, they're struggling. You know, at this stage, the group stage, even the way it is right now, if they're not careful, they wouldn't even go to the Europa. They wouldn't even, you know, when they lose out from, because they might come last in that particular group. And
so Jide, even the most optimistic Barcelona fan knows that their team at this point in time is not at that level. So I don't think they'll be expecting so much of them.
Yes, but still, you know how it is. You don't expect. But when you get to the pitch, there's so much that is expected of them. So you don't expect them to lose to some sides, or you don't expect at least a Barcelona side to not qualify from at the preliminary stage, the group stage.
You don't expect them.
So nobody is going to take that, and that is what the coach really needs to find a solution to now, because the pressure, you could see that most times even the press are always coming out with their daggers drawn with the manager, who they feel that is not living up to his expectation. And there's this story that is around. There's always one story or the other about how the president of the club is not always happy, is not happy with the manager, or that they are shopping for someone who is going to succeed Ronald Koeman and all that. These are things that shows that
there are issues. There are issues, and I think everyone knows that it's not a very happy camp in Barcelona. But I mean, they've won now. Hopefully, this might just kickstart.
They've got about 3 more games to go.
So they've kept the chances alive.
So they will be going to Kiev. And
they just need to go win that game as well.
To brighten their chances of picking one of the slots.
And we've seen some good players. Ansu Fati has come back, scoring goals as well. To good young players.
Young players, and we have to be careful so that we don't overwork those young players, so that they don't burn out early. So it's one thing that and what are they likely? Should I say mature or experienced players you can rely on?
Yes, the pie
one of them is the pie is there, and one of them is the one who got them that results yesterday. Gerard Piqué, very susceptible to injury at times and all that. These are it calls for worries already, but I hope that they will.
Okay, all right. So Barcelona getting off the mark in the UEFA Champions League. Hopefully, let's see if they can build on that going forward. Before we close the show, let's take a look at the papers. Jide, kindly help me pass the papers, and let's just run through, starting with Sporting Sun. Osimhen likened to Cristiano Ronaldo, Drogba. Any similarities between the players? Osimhen, Ronaldo, Drogba?
It's kind of physique, you know. He's very aggressive. You know, the way he pulls, the way he throws his weight, around. Because of his height.
So that's more Drogba, not Ronaldo.
So maybe the way he scores.
I can see the comparisons with Drogba, but I'm not sure about Ronaldo. Anyways, Chelsea for Malmo nil. Chelsea too strong for Malmo. We talked about that already. Lukaku Vena suffering injuries, and that was good to see the Nigerian Innocent Bonke in action in that game as well too. Chukwueze shines, scores, and Villarreal win. It's good to see him back playing football again.
Scoring.
Frustrating time on the sideline.
Gives us option, When back home, it was super good. Good option.
Indeed.
For the manager.
Yeah, because I know there are a few people they're not too convinced with the performances of Moses Simon in the last World Cup qualifiers. You know, so perhaps Chukwueze might just be getting it.
So there will be competition.
Competition, very important. The Conte gone for Manchester United job. Interesting. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in charge, but Conte
is one manager that has breathing on every manager that is not performing neck right now.
Exactly. As long as it remains free, everyone should be watching their backs.
He's been linked to every... I know, a checkbook manager like he is, he'd always want to sort out the money aspect of things and how... but with the Newcastle getting into the mix now. He's been linked also there. Manchester United, like I said, is breathing on the neck of every manager that's not performing right.
Indeed, Antonio Conte still, available for any takers out there. Salah tipped to land Ballon d'Or, PFA award. Really? Of course, it has to be in the conversation. I mean, he's had an incredible start to the season. Last year wasn't bad either.
Yep.
Okay.
He's been able to do double digits.
Surely he's got to be in the conversation.
He came back to Liverpool, so he must
top
be there.
3 at least.
And the way he's really taking a claim for that. If you look at his performance in the last.
Why not? Arguably the best player in the world right now, Mo Salah. Take a bow. Sporting Life is the next paper for review. Tottenham won £20 million. Onuachu being linked with several clubs ever since he changed agents. That would be a very good move indeed if he goes to Tottenham. Well, still transfer speculation.
That would be very good for him if he goes to, like I said.
Indeed. Spartak 3, Leicester 4. Iheanacho, Moses grabbed 2 assists each. Interesting. 2 Nigerians not on the score sheet, but assisting their teammates in getting goals. In that particular game, Patson Daka of Zambia scored 4 times for Leicester in that victory. Thomas Tuchel says Chelsea talking regularly about Holland. Newcastle to hold crunch talks with Fonseca, Lampard, Howe, Berg still in the running as well. So that's talking about the likely replacement for Steve Bruce. Who do you see Newcastle turning to for this particular job?
Well, I think
from all of the names that are available.
From all the names.
Conte says he's not interested.
He's not interested. I don't know why he doesn't want to come back. But
it looks like
maybe it's not the club as concerned. Maybe if a Manchester United side goes for him, maybe he will. Really?
Fonseca seems to be the
because Steven Gerrard, no. I don't think because Lampard, no. In terms of, but you know that it's an English club. They might also be looking at that English factor.
The angle as well too. So, a star player who used to be so great. Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, we'll see. Fingers crossed. If or whenever Newcastle appoints a new manager, you'll be the first to know.
But the news is that Steve Bruce is gone.
He's gone. That's it. I mean, come on. We saw that coming from a mile away.
Exactly.
Anyways, Complete Sports is the last paper for review. Osimhen will start on the bench. That's in the Europa League game against Legia. And like we said, Chukwueze back with a bang, with a goal for Villarreal in the UEFA Champions League. Jide, many thanks for coming on the program again. Appreciate your analysis as always.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Indeed. Thank you all for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Taya Salam.